the addiction to the person who breaks you. There are connections that do not begin with intensity, nor with promises, nor with lightning bolts of destiny. They begin with something much more subtle, much more calculated, much more dangerous. The unpredictable rhythm of emotional inconsistency. One day, you are the center of someone's universe, held, heard, seen with the kind of presence that feels almost sacred, and the next day, you are met with a distance so sharp, it feels like abandonment. The contrast is deliberate. The confusion is the point. And the longing it creates is the hook that binds you more tightly than love ever could. This is intermittent reinforcement, one of the most powerful psychological conditioning techniques used in toxic relationships, where affection is given in doses just large enough to keep you hoping and withheld just long enough to keep you starving. It begins slowly, almost gently. A message that arrives at the perfect moment, when your chest feels heavy and you need to be seen. A compliment that feels specific, not generic. Not casual, but tailored to the deepest parts of you. A touch of warmth, a moment of shared laughter, a glimpse of intimacy that feels real, rare, meaningful. You begin to trust the connection because the moments of closeness feel genuine. But then, without explanation, the warmth disappears. The replies become colder. The tone shifts. The attention fades. And where there was once affection, there is now silence. You don't understand what changed. You search your memory for something you did, something you said, something you should have done differently. And in that search, you begin to blame yourself. This is where the conditioning begins. Your heart remembers the closeness, the tenderness, the spark. Your mind cannot accept that it is gone. So you wait. You apologize. You adjust. You soften your voice. You suppress your needs. You reshape yourself into the version of you that you believe will bring the warmth back. And when the warmth finally returns, even briefly, it feels like relief, like oxygen, like coming home. But the relief is not love. It is withdrawal. Because by now your nervous system has been rewired to associate emotional chaos with emotional connection. You no longer crave the person themselves. You crave the high of being chosen again. You crave the return of the version of them who once made you feel special. And the more unpredictable they become, the deeper you fall into their gravity, mistaking instability for intensity, believing that suffering is proof of passion, believing that the pain means the connection is real. This is not love. This is bonding through deprivation. You are not attached to them. You are attached to the relief from the pain they cause. And that is what makes intermittent reinforcement so powerful. You will do almost anything to feel the good moment. Again, even if you have to endure 100 painful ones for it. You hold on because you remember how it used to feel. You hold on because you are convinced that the person they were in the beginning was real, and that if you just love them correctly, patiently, quietly, fully enough, that version will return. But they won't. Because the warmth was never a beginning. It was bait. The person who uses intermittent reinforcement does not love you. They love what your longing gives them. Control. Control over your emotions. Control over your attention. Control over your identity. You lose yourself one compromise at a time. One apology at a time. One silence at a time. Until one day, you wake up and realize that the person you have been fighting so desperately to keep no longer exists, and maybe never did. The only way to break the cycle is not through confrontation, not through explanation, not through hoping they will understand, because they already do. They know exactly what they are doing. The cycle breaks when you recognize that the connection was engineered to make you chase what was never meant to stay. So now I ask you gently, but directly. Have you ever waited for someone to come back to the version of themselves that only existed at the beginning? If your answer is yes, your story matters here. Share it in the comments. Your voice might help someone realize they are not alone in the confusion they have been taught to call love. Share this video if someone you know is trapped in this cycle. Subscribe and turn on notifications, and stay with me in Obscure Mindscapes, where we turn emotional darkness into awareness and pain into knowledge. And if you want to understand the psychological mechanics of emotional addiction, identity erosion, trauma bonding, and control through insecurity, click the link in the description and get my book, Dark Psychology and Manipulation. Because love is not supposed to feel like hunger, and healing begins the moment you stop chasing what hurts you.